very fashionable place, leading fashion place of the time.
I personally worked in a shop, and I would wear a suit every day of my life, including Saturdays. And of course, I would go home from the shop, take my suit off, get my 7-button parallels on, and my latest Ben Sherman, and my Crombie on, and I'd be off to into Wigan to go to the all-nighter. So it was like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde sort of thing.
We used to sit sewing our own skirts, didn't we? And for the lads, we used to like embroider on the pants, you know, like the names of the records or whatever. And we used to wear like full circle skirts, like leotards.
The caps, sleeve t-shirts, and the baggy trousers, and the wide waistbands with all the buttons on, and the pockets on the trousers.
White socks was the main thing,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
you have to have white socks or white sweatbands. There was one fluorescent light just above the stage. It was always very dark, Wigan. And if this one fluorescent light, anything you wore white used to obviously...
That was a girly thing mainly, wasn't it?
If you look at the fashion from any era and you take it out of context, it looks crazy, doesn't it? You see a teddy boy walk into a pub now and you smile, don't you? And it's just the same thing. It was just of its time, really.
Although I suppose in retrospect the northern scene looks kind of uncool now, at the time it was like just, you know, as a boy it was beyond good.
If I had a new mustache on the same old face, new coffee with the same old taste, new shirt on the same old back, a new feather in the same old hat, it wouldn't seem new to me, 'cause I'm tired of the same old thing.
Certain DJs got together with I think some record company, I don't know which one it was, and tried to like do it like a Stock Aitken and Waterman type thing, and manufacture their own Northern Soul.
This was an attempt by kind of, you know, slightly kind of seedy belief that there was fast bucks to be made in the Northern Soul scene.
Girl, this may sound cold to you. I finally got the nerve to say we're through.
Unfortunately, that then gave people on the outside a valid excuse for poking fun at you when you were on the scene, because it's not your kind of music. You know, I thought you were a soul man. He's white. What's this all about? And that then did get a bit embarrassing.
It wasn't that it broke Northern Soul. If anything, they realised that there wasn't actually an awful lot of money to be made from this, because it was actually very much a kind of aficionados and collectors scene, and they soon moved on and left it alone. What killed Northern Soul, if indeed it could be prescribed to be dead, was to some extent, I think, the fact that black American music moved on, and that for a lot of us there was a lot of attraction in staying up to date with black American music, which is what had brought me there in the first place.
Why don't you stop and look me over? Am I the same girl you used to know? Why don't you stop and think it over? Am I the same girl whom you hate so?
I'm sure there was 3 final nights. I mean, realistically there was the Tommy Hunt one, and then the final night, but I'm sure there was one prior to that.
The last night was in 1981, and I was in China at the time, so I wasn't able to go. It's a shame that I missed it. But I think you just have to remember, nothing's forever, and Wigan had a great run.
I think we went to one of Russ Winstanley's promotions at what is Maxime's in Wigan now. And Ross, I think, made the observation at 7 that if you go up to the casino now, there's a hole in the wall and you can have a look. So we all went up, smashed, at 7 in the morning. As we walked round the corner from the Light Bite, which was the cafe at the side of it, there was just nothing left.
I went past it when it was rubble, and it was just so upsetting, because it was just memories. There was just memories in that, you know. It was upsetting. It did bring a tear to your eye.
To be crying about like a bricks and mortar night that you did, you know, how can you be crying at 17 about something that realistically you shouldn't be crying about when you're 45, but you did. It was just horrendous time, because you was thinking, what happens now? What do we do on Saturday?
My unbiased opinion, from what I see on the soul scene in general, is that there's no club has such an effect on the soul scene in general in this country, as the casino has.
The year after Studio 54 was Billboard voted the #1 club in the world, Wigan Casino was it. And that really says something, doesn't it? The American trade newspaper identified a club in Wigan in Lancashire as the world's #1 discotheque.
It was like a giant temple. If you hadn't been to Wigan, you'd never done Northern Soul.
I think unless you actually went, unless you'd been there and seen it, nobody can ever appreciate what it was like, what the atmosphere was like, and why we still miss it and remember it so well.
I'm glad I experienced it, and I'll never ever forget it, and I don't think anybody who ever went to the casino will ever forget it. Never forget it. Be there till the day they die.